town in the county down one morning last July. On a boring green came a sweet colleen, and she smiled as she passed me.
Bunratty Castle is one of Ireland's most famous castles, in a design called a tower house. It is located in Bunratty, County Clare, in the southwest of Ireland. There was estimated to have been around 8,000 tower houses built in Ireland. Tower houses were mainly built from the 15th century to the mid-17th.
As she onward sped, sure I scratched me head, and I gazed with a feeling queer. And I said, says I, to a passer-by, who's the maid with the nut-brown hair. He smiled at me, and with pride says he, that's the gem in Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Bann, she's the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to
There are several defensive features incorporated into nearly every castle, and Bunratty is no exception. Arrow slits were designed to let archers fire arrows or crossbow bolts out without getting returned fire.
Glass was later installed in the openings.
And I'll try sheep's eyes and the lutheran lies for the heart of the nut-brown rose.
A hole in the ceiling, called a murder hole, was used to drop stones, fire arrows, or pour boiling oil, water, or even urine down.
The stairs are uneven and built at different heights and depths, and they were designed that way on purpose. They're called trip steps or stumble steps. Purpose was to confuse, stumble, or trip the attacking forces. Most of the stairs were also built to aid a right-handed defender, who would hold onto the center section with his left hand, have more room to fight. The opponent would have little space to use a weapon.
The front door is thick and contains latches to prevent a battering ram from opening it. The wooden pegs sticking out would have been sharpened to spike whoever attempted to shoulder it. They used wooden pegs in place of nails because water would cause the wood to expand, allowing nails to drop out. The ground floor would have been used to store food or weapons. It would have been well defended because the murder hall and the rather narrow doorway allowed castle inhabitants to pick off invaders one by one. The main guard on the second floor was where the castle's guards would have lived. Today, it is used as the dining area for the medieval banquet. It also holds its own minstrels gallery, where minstrels or musicians would play. Most of the furniture here, aside from the benches, are from the 15th and 16th centuries. The entrance to the dungeon was located here. It does not look like a comfortable place to spend your final days, and indeed was where criminals went to their sentence, which in that time was usually beheading or hanging. Prisoners were thrown into the 15-foot dungeon and had to be hauled out by rope. The captain's quarters was the bedroom belonging to the castle guard's captain. Notice the armor hanging from the wall. The ceiling was once finely decorated. Passing the captain's quarters, we now enter the Great Hall. The Great Hall has stained glass windows and tapestries, similar to the castles described in fairy tales. tapestries, however, are not from Ireland but from France, Belgium, and Flanders. Angel standards bearing family and country coat of arms decorate where the ceiling and walls combine. The large fireplace on the floor would mainly have served as heat rather than cooking. The food would probably have been cooked in the courtyard. The roof is not original to the castle but was remade in the 1950s restoration. Many of the wooden parts of the castle rotted away during its abandonment. The Earl's kitchen was where food would be prepared and delivered to the Earl's apartment. The fireplace is large enough to hold a wild boar. Well, how would you get that up the stairs? The turtle shells here were used for dishes and dish covers. They were possibly delivered from the West Indies, although no one knows for sure. The Earl's bedroom contained an elegantly carved bed. Some dresses of that era are laid on the bed. A crib and a loom were placed in the bedroom later on. There's a neat little still at the foot of the hill where the smoke curls up to the sky. By the whiff of the smell you can play. The North Solo, or the Earl's apartment, was the living area for the Earl and his family. The table is said to have been salvaged from a ship in the Armada. The Luchterweben, a female figure sometimes used as a chandelier or part of one, is found in other rooms around the house. There is a window providing a view to the Great Hall. Women were not allowed to visit banquets, so they had to stand at the window and watch from there. Robe was the medieval toilet. Castle inhabitants hung their garments up near it because the ammonia gas caused by the sewage would kill off the lice, earning the name robe guard, guarded robe. Vaulted ceilings, such as this one, were designed to support weight and reduce strain on the castle walls from the upper floors. This restored piece of Irish history shows how life was like in the Middle Ages in Ireland, and shows that the Irish want to preserve their history. I hope you enjoyed this brief tour of Bunratty Castle.